Good morning and welcome to another edition of Brent's Guitar Emporium. I'm Brent Henderson, your host. In the middle of this coronavirus pandemic, which actually I don't have the coronavirus yet, but I am battling severe vertigo, which I've had for over a month now. But during that time that I've been home and off, I picked up this 1951 Gibson L4. Bought it from a character in southwestern Florida, and it had some issues. Actually, it had some very serious issues. As you can see, underneath here, there is a large plate covering up what I was later to find there was some serious damage underneath there. It was basically an input jack rip out, which caused multiple cracks in the rim of the guitar, the bottom rim area there. And there was also an undisclosed headstock crack, the obligatory Gibson headstock break area. Since I had all this time on my hands, I did the repairs myself, was able to spread all the cracks down here on the bottom and work glue into them, and then I put 2 clamps on the body and clamped that all together nice and tight. And then I also spread the headstock crack open so that I could inject wood glue into the crack and clamp that. And both repairs were a great success. Since I have done the repairs, I have had 10 gauge strings on this for multiple days, and then yesterday I changed out the tailpiece. The tailpiece that came on it, what I don't believe was the original, so I just got a different tailpiece, something a little more elegant looking, just to kind of spruce up the overall look of the guitar. And I put 11s on it yesterday, and everything is holding together just fine. A little bit of history on the guitar as I know it based on what's here. The original Gibson label is still intact, and the serial number dates it to a 1951. When I got the guitar, before I even did any of the repairs, I pulled the wiring harness out and dated the pots, and the pots date to 1951 also. And I've been told by some other people that saw the pictures of the wiring harness, and I also tend to agree with these opinions, that the wiring harness looks to be factory, given the way that it was put together. And these are early 50s Gibson P90s. The tuners are not original. It had a set of patent pending Grovers on it. I took those off and I put a modern era reproduction set of Clousons on it, which I am so impressed that these modern era tuners, I mean, they are the exact footprint of the original Clousons that came on this guitar when it left the Gibson factory in 1951. The frets on this guitar are very low. They're the small vintage style frets, and they are very, very low. Surprisingly enough, it still plays pretty good though. even down here. I mean, it still plays decent. Of course, it's tough to do bends because there's not much fret there. Oh, the pickguard. I forgot about the pickguard. This pickguard appears to be original to the guitar. I didn't realize this until I started taking it apart, but there's actually a pin that is glued into the edge of the pickguard, the reinforcement on the bottom of the pickguard. In that pin, actually, there's a hole drilled into the side of the neck, and that pin slides in there to hold this side of the pickguard stationary. And then I had to do a little bit of emergency surgery on the piece of plastic underneath that holds this bracket in. That plastic was old and deteriorated, and I had to glue it back together. But I believe this pickguard to be original to the guitar, judging by the material and the angle of the bevel that was cut and how it's developed a warp. It's very consistent with pickguards from that era. The bridge, I put a Nashville style bridge on here. It came with the original wooden Brazilian rosewood bridge, but I wanted to put a Nashville style bridge on here for intonation purposes, and it intonates perfectly. It's 24 3/4 scale, classic Gibson scale, 19 frets, Brazilian rosewood fretboard with split parallelogram inlays. So I'm gonna just play it clean for a little bit, bridge and neck in middle position, and then I'm gonna throw a little overdrive at it, because this guitar is really fun. If you see me kind of doing this, that's because my vertigo is still not great. So if you see me drifting like I'm drunk, I'm not drunk. I promise you, I'm not. Okay, let's see. Bridge pickup, clean. All right, neck pickup. That's about all my vertigo can take right now. So thanks for checking out this really cool 1951 Gibson L4. Hopefully everyone's healthy and safe, and until next time, adios.